Okay, so now that we have selected the right discus, we're going to talk about grip with discus in shot put real quick. I do plan on getting some javelin stuff up also. I didn't do too well at it last year, but I'll get some stuff up this year. But indoor season's coming up, so I mean, even discus really isn't a big rush, but it being one of the more technical events, it's always good to get a head start on it. And don't get me wrong, javelin's extremely technical also. Out of the weight throws, I mean the actual heavy throws, discus is extremely technical. Okay, so we're going to talk about grip, how you hold the discus. Okay, I got an orange line piece of tape on here. Okay, the biggest thing is to make sure you get it in the right spot in your hand. Okay, so there's a straight line being 12 o'clock on your discus. Okay, start with your index finger in the middle and just run it straight up. Okay, and then curl your other fingers around it, evenly spaced as close as you can. It doesn't have to be. Some people throw, with different grips, different finger spacings, whatever's comfortable. But the biggest part is this, and make sure your thumb's laying on the discus. Okay, so we hold it this way because the discus, as you put force on it, it's going to want to come out. Okay, it's going to want to spin out and spin off of this index finger. Okay, and this way it should come out. Okay, when you throw, it should roll off of your index finger. Okay, that first joint. Some people hold it like, just fingertips. We can do that. I've seen people hook it with a hook grip. I don't care for that too much because it puts a weird pressure on the bottom. Okay, so try to get it right on that joint. Okay, there, and then just spread your fingers out. Okay, and as you hold the discus, a lot of people hold it like this just because they're not comfortable with it. Okay, you want your wrist flat, palm on the discus. Okay, just like that. Keep that thumb down. Okay, keep thumb pressure and let it roll off that finger. Okay, it's going to roll off that finger. Okay, if you get to where it's coming off your middle finger, okay, that's because you have your middle finger in the center and not your index finger. Okay, if you put your index finger in the center of it, it's not going to roll off your index. Okay, so you get half of the discus outside your hand and half of it in your hand. Okay, and as you push, okay, you're going to kind of roll your fingers at the end, flick them. Okay, it's going to want to roll off that front. Okay, so if it's rolling off the center, so there's a lot of people that throw off that one. But the way you're supposed to do it is your index finger. Okay, and then just let it roll. And there's a lot of people when they're first starting out that they'll want to throw it and let it come out the back. So if you see your discus spinning counterclockwise, that means it came out the back side of your hand, or it's coming out the back side of your thrower's hand. And that's why I got this tape on there, so I can actually see the discus spinning when it's thrown. Okay, so clockwise, discus should spin clockwise, so it's going to roll out the front of your hand. Okay, and there's a lot of things, a lot of different drills you can do. Just like that, toss-ups. Bowling's a good one, because you just roll it along the ground, try to get it to go in a straight line, you know, so it doesn't, make sure it's not wobbling. Nice, you know, pizza cutter. Toss-ups for height, you just throw it high. Make sure it's not wobbling. Skips, shoulder level, and you just kind of throw it in like you're skipping rocks. Okay, you try to get it to skip and hit, you know, flat and skip. That way it's not hitting any edges, because if it hits on an edge, it's going to roll. You'll notice it won't skip straight. It'll take off to one side or the other. That's pretty much it for the grip on the discus. Like I said, the brass is tackier than like the stainless or aluminum. You can use chalk if you have a problem with your hands sweating. You can use chalk, and then they have throwing, it's like a resin. I've never used it. I really never used chalk that much. I always just, you know, lick my fingers and you know, rub it until it gets sticky. And then, you know, if it's inclement weather, always keep a towel with you. That's pretty much it for discus. Shot put. Okay, he was talking about shot put and getting all your fingers, you know, your entire hand behind it, so you can throw. I got a screwed up pinky, so it kind of slips out to the side unless I force it to be over there. When you hold the shot, okay, you don't want it down in your palm. Okay, it needs to be up on your fingers. Okay, just barely touching the pads of your hand is a good spot. Is where I would, you know, is where I like to have it. Okay, thumb for support. All right, and then under your ear, behind your jaw. Some people set it clear back here, and it's just a comfort thing. It depends on how, you know, how your shoulder moves. You know, the mechanics of your shoulder and the way you throw and everything. Okay, but when you throw, okay, grip here. It's going to come off basically your jawline. Okay, always coach said that if, you know, you didn't have a dirty jaw, you know, that dirt line down your jaw, you weren't throwing right. Because a lot of people will tend to drop it out here. Okay, and you're going to hurt your shoulder doing that. So a good way to keep that is make sure your elbow's out from your shoulder. And when you throw and you release, okay, thumb down, pinky up, okay, and you flip. Kind of like shooting a basketball. You want rotation on it, but it's sideways. So you'll see the shot put will rotate. Kind of like it's orbiting. But make sure you thumb down, pinky up. Okay, shoulder straight out. Throw from here. Like I said, they got different metals, different diameters. This is actually, I think this is a 12. It is. This is a 12-pound shot, which high school boys throw a 12. As you go, let's see. Junior high boys and girls both throw a 4K. The females will continue to throw 4K all the way through high school, college, and, you know, into like Olympics and stuff. The guys changes, so you'll go 4K in junior high, 4K in junior high, 12-pound in high school, and then 16 in college and on. And I think it finally drops down when you hit like 50 years old. The weight will drop back down. Discus, the females is always 1K. It's always a 1 kilogram discus, all the way through junior high, high school, college, and on. The males throw a 1K in junior high, 1.6 in high school, and a 2K in college on up until, like I said, they get old. So make sure you're throwing the right weights. They do have training shot puts and training discs. Like if I was throwing in high school, my training disc, since it's a 1.6 kilogram in high school, the training disc goes from like 1.25 to 1.75. So it can give you kind of a lighter to to heavier range. Shot puts you can get 8 pound, 9 pound, 10 pound, 12, 13, 14, 16, I think they go up to 18 pounds for training. I've always just used, like if I'm going to speed train, I'll use a 4K to get my speed up so my timing's faster, and then I'll throw my competition weight the last half of or last part of my practice. If I'm strength training, I'll go, like if I was in high school, I strength trained, I used a 16. So when I was strength training, I would throw a 16 through 3/4 of my practice, and then finish off with a 12, and then I drop down to a 4K just to keep my speed up, because a 16 will slow you down immensely if you're not used to it. And a big part of throwing is timing. You want to keep the same timing. It's a rhythm. But other than that, pick your implements, get the right ones, get a shot put that feels good for you, feels right for you, discus that feels right. Make sure you're starting out with the right one, whether you're first starting out, like I said before, with a rubber one, or you're an elite thrower, throwing 180 feet. Make sure you got a discus that's meant to travel that far. And that's about it for grip and release. I'll throw up some videos for discus training to get your grip down, different things you can do with your arm swings and stuff to get used to actually holding the discus, because a lot of the times when you're first starting out, everybody's afraid it's going to fall out of their hand. But if you keep your arm moving at a good enough speed, it's not going to fall out. Okay. So I'll put up some things to train for that, and then we'll just keep progressing. We'll go into power positions. Next is going to be power position, because if you don't have a power position, you might as well not throw. So we'll get into power positions and move on from there into glide, shot put, and also rotational. And then rotation and discus, we'll go with a quarter turn, half turn, 3/4, and just kind of progress from there. And I hope to get up some stuff for javelin with grip, how to hold the javelin and to use your arm and shoulder correctly so you don't tear your stuff up. Block legs, get into a block, penultimate step, different stuff like that. And wherever we're coaching, we coach backwards and correct forwards. Okay, so that's why I start at the front of the ring or at the front of the runway with the javelin. You always start with grip, release, and power positions, and then you work backwards from there as you're coaching. And then as you're correcting, you correct as they're going through the motions, front to back. So keep that in mind. That's about it. See you next time.